Tophiachu. Hey. What the heck? Hey. Oh, thank you. That's no, why does it do that? No, you can't get gifts on here. It's like subscriptions. No, I haven't listened to Ariana Grande's. I have to wait on TikTok. I don't know. Yeah, but I haven't heard her new album. Oh no. My favorite video game? I like to play Call of Duty Zombies. Hopefully I can play soon. So stuff has always been happening live at 1 in the morning. Bum. The only bum is you, so... I mean, how would you know I'm always live at 1 in the morning if you're watching me at 1 in the morning, which must mean you're a bum? Because if I go live at 1, then... and you watch me at 1, then you're a bum. There's nothing wrong with my hair. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Right? It's stupid. Like, oh, you're a bum because you go live at 1. Well, doesn't that make you a bum for watching at 1? Like, that makes no sense. Like, some people are just so stupid. That is how that works. Like, people need to think before they speak. Duh. Over here saying I'm a bum because I go live at 1, but then they're watching at 1. And they're like, you go live at 1 every single day. How would you know? My shirt? Yes, thank you. Except I got paint on it, and I gotta figure out how to get the paint off. Darn it. Hey, yes, I do remember you. My mom is doing good. No, I haven't seen the new Fortnite Simpsons update. I need to get into my brother's account, so I'm gonna try to do that so I could get my skins back. I haven't been able to play Fortnite because, yeah, some things happened. I'll play soon. I haven't gotten my thing yet. I don't have my Xbox. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah. That's what you need to get from your brother. No. What are you even talking about? My brother's account has my skins that I paid for. And so, yeah. I'll try to get it. What's wrong with wearing a Hooters shirt? I can't stream me playing Fortnite just because. What are you even talking about? Nobody said they hate me. I don't even know who you're talking about. No, I don't work at Hooters. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, but the thing is like, I can't play because I can't stream. I had to be careful. Nobody hates me. First of all, they wouldn't come online and say they hate me. They don't even want to be on social media. Second of all, I talk to them a lot, so why are people just saying things? They just come on live and just say things. Like, we ain't even talking about anybody. Like, why are you lying? Like, in 4K you get caught lying. Like, you can't even lie properly. Oh, nice. Why don't I pick up my brothers and sisters? Because I've already explained that. Like, hello. No, I haven't watched House of Dragon. Look, I know, do you realize a lot of people hate you? You do realize you have a lot of people who hate you, and it all has to do with how you act. Jacob, first of all, you hate black women, so I wouldn't even take advice from you. Yes, people hate me, but you hate me because I'm black. You just literally said black women were loud and aggressive. So I don't even know why you're even speaking. I don't care if people hate me. I do not give an absolute fuck. Because at the end of the day, people are going to hate me regardless. Even if I'm doing something good. I'm literally working on getting housing and going to see a therapist, and people are still hating. It was literally addressed in the Reddit that people talk about how they want people to change, and they say, oh, she needs to better her life, but when I better my life, people still don't give a fuck. That's what someone said in the Reddit, and they are 100% true. Nobody gives a fuck or cares if someone changes or literally betters themselves, because when they do, then people still hate. They don't give a fuck if someone betters themselves, so I don't fucking care if people don't hate me, or people hate me, because at the end of the day, I just don't give a fuck. They're gonna hate me regardless. They don't care if I'm changing. They don't care about shit. They talk about going to get a fucking job so they could cause me to get fired. Like, the trauma that I've been through, they tell me I'm not allowed to go, or that I shouldn't have trauma. Like, what the fuck? Are you okay? Is you good? Because that sounds like a mental illness problem. That sounds like someone that is crazy telling somebody they're not that, what is it? About having trauma. Like, are you okay? Telling someone they can't have no trauma, or why do you have trauma? That's the stupidest question in the world. Saying, oh, you don't have major depression. What the fuck? Like, society is fucked. We're screwed. If you're worried about what someone's doing, instead of being worried about the air being polluted and other real world issues, then I don't know what to tell you, because we're all fucked. We are. We can't even afford to live, but we're attacking each other, knowing we can't afford to live. Like, is you cool? Is you good? We all collectively can't afford to live, and you're worried about the wrong stupid shit. Fuck. Yeah, and we're about to go in World War III. Yes, there are people starving in third world countries, but what does that gotta do with people starving here, right? Here's the thing, yes, people are starving in other countries and America's forking over money to them. Why are they giving other countries money to feed their people instead of feeding people here? There are children who are homeless in the streets that are starving. There are children that go to schools that can't afford to pay for their lunches that are starving, you know? And that school lunch thing got taken away since Trump came into office. When Obama was in office, his wife made sure that every single child could afford or have a lunch. Now, since Trump is in office, his wife hasn't done shit for nobody except wear stupid ass statement pieces of jackets, and then refuses to hold his hand in disgust because she doesn't want to be with the man, but she ain't doing shit for nobody. I haven't seen the First Lady do nothing for no fucking buddy except sit in the White House and look pretty. That's all the fuck that these people do. They don't give a fuck about Americans or whether or not people can afford to live. Fuck that. Like, seriously. This lady is the First Lady, and she can use her power to literally make the world a better place. You know, when Obama was in office, Michelle put in work. She didn't sit back and be like, oh, I'm going to let him do it. He's like the president. No, the First Lady stepped up. Michelle Obama did more than Melania Trump has ever done. Like, let's be for real. And people still be over here emasculating her, calling her a man. It's weird. Like, why are you mad? Melania just sits there and looks pretty. And looks like she's disgusted to be with that man. Well, then divorce him. You just with him because you wanna live in the White House, and then when he's no longer in the White House, what are you gonna do? You gonna leave him? It's all an act. Seriously, Americans are fucked. Like I said, we can't afford to live. We can't afford to feed ourselves. You want people to starve? What is fucking wrong with you? Like, they take all this money for wars, billions of dollars for wars. They send all this money to other countries to help feed their people. But what about your people in the streets? What about actual veterans that are in the streets that can't afford? Yeah. Missed me with that one. And then people don't qualify for food stamps and they gotta starve? Fuck. Like, America is screwed. Like, America is screwed. We don't even have free healthcare. And we're sitting here talking about third world countries. Other countries can afford to live. The cost of living is so cheap, you could build a house and own it. You don't even gotta pay property taxes. You don't even gotta pay all this extra shit and still don't own your house. Like, make that make sense. No, I don't actively refuse to get a job. I am refusing to make some other motherfucker money while I can't afford to live. Why am I going to work a job to live in a shelter, you stupid bitch? Do you not understand? Or are you just having a hard time seeing what the world really is? Because I'm tired of explaining it to you because you guys act like there's nothing going on, like the world is fucking perfect when it's not. Maybe you need to step outside and see what the world is really like. Why don't you step outside and ask your local homeless person about being homeless and see what the fuck is going on? Because if you think it is because people don't want to work, or if it's because you think people are on drugs, or they're refusing to accept the programs that help them, then maybe you really need to look within yourself. Go talk to your local homeless people and they'll tell you what the fuck it is, because some of you guys literally sit here and act like you don't know what the fuck it is. You know exactly what the fuck it is. I am so sick and tired. I am not doing it anymore. I'm tired, okay? How can I sit here and literally talk about consumerism and then be over here helping someone else contribute to being rich off of me, and I can't even afford to live? I'm not going to go work a job. I've already said that the place that I am at does not allow me to work. I am not going to go run to work anyways either. Why would I want to go run to work to not be able to afford to live? You explain that shit. You go explain to these apartments and these places that want 3 times the rent why the fuck you don't make 3 times the rent at McDonald's. You stupid idiot. You dumb bitch. Like, seriously. Some people literally do piss me off because they have no knowledge, or they do have knowledge. You know what the fuck it is, but you just want to make excuses. You're just sitting here, literally, you know what it is, but it's because you don't like me. That's why you say this dumb shit. Seriously. Strawberry teeth, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. If you save money, you could eventually afford rent. If you pull whatever it is out of your ass, then it comes out of your ass. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is stupid. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you save money, you could afford rent. If you use your brain, then you would have known that someone already thought of that. That is not a new thought. Dumbass, like, hasn't somebody already tried that? I've seen people that have saved money that literally can't afford rent. So what are we talking about? They paid their rent. Once the money for rent is paid, that means they're out of money. What are they going to do for the next month? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you're equating, like, saying that I'm spending money, you can't pay rent with $80. And not even $80. Because people, and here's the thing that I want to talk about, because people don't know the shit that they're talking about. And they go in comment sections and they do this when they should do this. Because literally putting in the comment section saying that she's like, one person commented under Tophiachu's video, she bought a TV, a Switch, and a computer, I think. If you have to think, if I bought a freaking computer, then that means you should shut the fuck up. Because if you don't even know if I bought a computer, then why are you even throwing that in there, considering the fact that does it look like I have a fucking computer? No, I don't have a computer. I just literally said that I'm trying to get a laptop that I can't afford. So I was trying to look in programs to help me get acquire a laptop without having to pay for it. So why are we sitting here saying shit we don't know nothing about? I think she got a computer. Does it look like I have a computer? No, I don't have a computer. So thank you. Like, why are people pocket watching? Why is Tophiachu still making videos about me? Like, girl, shut the fuck up. Go talk about Jelly Roll. Seriously. Like, her content switched to, like, Jelly Roll because she's trying to make some money. Like, leave me alone. It's so annoying. You're pocket watching, but I don't pocket watch you. Yeah, but who cares about the TV? I could save for the rent, right? But then what am I going to do for next month? Do you not see how stupid you sound? Oh yeah, just save money for some rent so you could pay for 1 month, but you can't pay for the next month. You need first and last month's rent and a deposit, so you gotta save for that too. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh, what are they gonna do? I'm gonna walk over to a place and be like, hey, so I got rent for the first month, but I don't got rent for next month. They need proof of income for you to live anywhere. They're not just gonna say, oh, well, you can pay this 1 month, okay, we'll let you in. You have to have an income coming in, because how are you gonna pay rent? What am I gonna tell them? Sorry, I got no income. I just saved for 1 month's rent. Some of you guys, it amazes me how you even passed elementary school. I'm amazed. Okay, well, everyone on here has a house and a home, or has a job and a home because they can't afford it. When you get fired, you could be, someone has said it to y'all and you don't listen. You could be one away from being in my situation. Jobs are not secure. You can have a job today and not have a job tomorrow. They can fire you for any reason. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to give them a reason and they'll fire you. What are we even talking about? Like, why are we even sitting here saying, well, I got a job don't mean shit when you could lose it in 2 seconds. You could end up homeless just like me. And if you think a job keeps you secure, then I want you to go thinking you're not going to get fired at your job, because that's the mentality of someone that thinks they're entitled. Mr. Invincible. Walking around with a bulletproof vest because you think nothing can touch you. And then, when you end up in my situation, then what are you going to do? I should have listened to you. I should have I'm sorry. Now I have a total understanding. Like, fuck off. go the fuck away. Like, seriously. How is that being a hater? Okay, well, then, you know what? When they lose their job, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to sit here and say I hope you lose your job, because I'm not going to be rude like that. But people feel like they're better than people because they have a job. I'm a hater, but they're walking around on a high horse saying I'm better than you because I have a job. Fuck you. I don't care. You may be better than me because you have a job. No one gives a fuck. Well, if you're sitting in your house because you have AC, do you not hear the AC blasting? Or are you a dumbass bitch? Because I'm sitting in a place with AC. I'm not hot, so what are we talking about? The difference between me and you is you're paying rent. I'm not, so. And I don't have to have stress. You know, I can talk about my problems and have a place to live and not have to pay rent. You're stressing out. You have issues, right? You have a lot of issues mentally. You can't take a break from work. Oh, if you're having a bad day, you can't have a bad day. I get to talk about my problems and be in cool air. What a blessing, right? I don't have to go jump to work to go get a job. I don't have to pay rent and struggle and try to figure out how I'm gonna pay my rent. At least you're making money. Well, I'm making money too. I'm making money on TikTok. I already made money for my bills. So I don't know what you're talking about. Because if I wasn't making money, my phone wouldn't have been paid first off. So I don't know what you was trying to do with that. But yeah, I'm making money. And I'm going to be, I don't know when, but I'm going to be working with Temu again. So I mean, what was the point of that? I'm going to be making money too. Oh, so now I'm a loser? I don't got a government phone. I literally got an iPhone 13. And I'm not on any government program. I'm literally on the prepaid T-Mobile service. So no, I don't got a government phone. Because government phones don't have a lot of data. You don't get that much data. Like, and you don't get unlimited data. Your data doesn't slow. It just cuts off. So I would have no data. So yeah, I'm not on a government phone because I literally have iPhone 13. I don't want that. Like, you're not understanding. I'm not trying to be rude and you keep commenting that, but I am not, like, that doesn't seem logical. First of all, my brother is not buried. Second of all, my mom is not gonna move. Third of all, I'm not moving somewhere I don't know. Like, why would I want to move to Maine? Why do I have to move to literally be able to afford to live? That's what I talk, that's this stuff I talk about, right? It's like, why should anyone have to move to another state to afford to live? That shouldn't be a thing. It's not about affording to live. I'm on programs that I'm literally trying to, we're just trying to get housing. We have to wait. It doesn't work as fast as people would like it to. That's the issue. I'm not trying to get a job and work. I do not want to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm sorry. I just don't. People need to stop trying to force something on someone that they don't want. I do not want to work for someone and make them money. How is that benefiting me? When I die, right? I want to make sure that my family has the money to be able to afford to bury me. What's going to happen? I don't want to leave my family with a financial burden. Like, I want to be able to make a, stable wage. Financial stability. I'm not going to have financial stability if I'm working at a McDonald's. Like, I want to make beyond a living wage. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of seeing the people around me struggle. I'm tired of seeing that. Like, it makes me sad that I can't help the people around me, especially my mom. That comes first. And then the other people, because people have to say, oh, like that one time they mentioned a crush or something, and they were like, oh, she wants to help her crush before her mom, even though I stated my mom first, and you cropped that out of the video. Like, stop lying to people and post the whole video. Ain't no way. Special education does not help you transition into adulthood, because that's not what special education is. Special education is to help you in your classes because you're a slow learner. That has nothing to do with transitioning into adulthood, because just because I was in special ed doesn't mean I'm stupid. That doesn't mean I don't know how to be an adult, because I lived in a dorm and went to college out of high school. I lived in a studio with my brother by myself. What are we even talking about? Why are we even talking about shit that don't even matter? I know how to function as an adult. Like, a job does not make you an adult. A job makes you stupid. Because if you think, why do you want to run and get a job knowing that you're going to struggle to pay your bills? Why do you want to run and get a job so bad? Explain why you want to work somewhere standing 8 hours a day on your feet to not make barely nothing. Why do you do it? What do you love about your 9-to-5 job so much? Answer that question. That's a question for anyone that works a 9-to-5 job, and this is no hate. Why do you love going to work every day? First question, why do you love to go to work every day? No, you don't love to go to work every day so you don't end up like me. Answer properly. Don't answer stupidly. Nobody is saying I'm going to work so I don't be like you. If you're saying that, then you don't love to go to work. You literally just proved my thing, right? And for the one that says they sit all day at work, yeah, that's sitting all. I wouldn't want to do a desk job. Yeah, sitting all day is not good for you unless you're exercising. Like, you have one of those things under your desk where you're doing little exercises while you sit. Otherwise, sitting a lot, it's really damaging on your body to be sitting a lot. You have to get up and be at least doing some sort of exercises. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want a job sitting, because I can't sit all day. Sitting all day is not good for you anyways. For the money to pay for my own things, okay, here's the thing, right? You could get the money to pay for your own things without having to work a 9-to-5 job. So what's your question? You could make loads of money online. I was having this discussion with someone, right? That I know, and we were talking about, do you know all the opportunities there is online to make loads of money? People be making bank online. Let me tell you something. Working a 9 to 5 job to be able to afford the things you have is a lie, because here's the thing. Just as people are sitting here saying I'm spending my money on dumb shit, why would you spend your money on things that you want? Because then you're not putting away any money for an emergency fund. If your car breaks down, are you going to use whatever item that you spent all that money on to fix your car? Like, people are not being financially... You shouldn't even be buying things that you want with your money. You should be saving for things that you need. If you're not putting the extra money instead of buying that item aside to make sure that if your car breaks down, you could get it fixed, that's a you problem. You're not, like, there is no such thing as working a 9 to 5 job to buy the things that you need. There is no such thing. If I work a 9 to 5 job, I wouldn't be able to get anything if I wanted it. I wouldn't be able to buy graphic t-shirts, clothes, nothing. If you're doing all of that, then you know what I mean? I'm not talking about the stuff in the storage. Why would I need to talk about that? That's got nothing to do with anything. You know why I was able to afford that? Because I was able, and I fixed the cars. I had money to fix the cars. You know that, right? I bought stuff and was able to fix the cars. If I had a 9 to 5 job, I wouldn't have been able to go to Comic-Con. There's that. I wouldn't have been able to go to Comic-Con. I wouldn't be able to do most of these things. I would have had to save money aside for emergency funds. I didn't have to do that because I made enough to do everything. Some of you guys really try to throw things out there and it doesn't make sense. And that stuff in the storage, my brother bought that stuff. I didn't pay for that stuff, so. And my brother knows about cars, so if something happened with his car, he could fix it. There's that. To literally be sitting here and be like, and then saying that, like, no, like, you're not at a place, right? You're not at a place where you can afford to buy things that you want. I'm at a place where I can. You're not at that place. So to be like, what about the stuff in the storage? I was at a place to do so. I don't have a car, so I don't gotta worry about whether or not if my car breaks down, because if I had a car, I wouldn't be buying these things. The difference between me and you is you're not there. So to be talking about my stuff in storage, you should be talking about what you're going to do when your car breaks down and you can't afford to fix it. What are you going to do? Do you even have insurance? Like not homeowners insurance, but insurance in general. Did you know that you're supposed to have insurance when you live in an apartment too? Because if someone steals something or if the apartment burns down, how are you going to replace your valuable items? Are you paying for insurance? Did you know that? Because we went to State Farm to pay for insurance at the old apartment we were living there, because they suggested we get insurance because our apartment was almost burnt down by the neighbor next door. Did you know that? Some of you guys really aren't. Like, and you talk about being adults. Is your place insured? What happens if your house burns down? What happens if you're a place that's in a natural disaster? Like, if you end up in a hurricane, do you have a plan of how you're going to do you have any sort of plan of how you're going to rebuild, how you're going to replace your items? If you have no insurance and you end up and let's be honest, in places that have like fires a lot or hurricanes, I don't know if it's like places that have a lot of hurricanes, insurance companies won't cover you because they know that there's constant fires in certain places. Like, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hope Works Apartments? Well, that's not where I'm at. So, if you think that you're doxing me, you're not doxing me, Jane Johns. I don't know why someone is sitting here literally thinking that they got it down. Like, coming and literally doxing someone online, that's crazy. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Yeah, you afforded a new tire, but how much did you pay for that tire? You know, see, being savvy and learning how to live below your means, I don't have to pay like $400 to $1,000 for a new tire. I can go get a tire for cheap because I learned from my brother where to go get parts for my car and not have to spend thousands of dollars. I don't need to save because I've already been savvy enough to learn where to go for cheap, you know, anything for my car. I don't have to pay loads of money to literally sit here and be like, oh, I bought new tires as my tire. Yeah, well, I can go get tires too. Like, sometimes I'm not going to spend all that money. Like, to be honest, if you're spending like loads of money on a new tire, then how are you putting money away? You see, you're working to pay for a new tire. Can you save for a vacation? No, you can't save for a vacation. Who would want to live like that? I wouldn't want to live at a point in my life where I'm like, oh, can I take a vacation or go to this concert? Or now I have to buy a freaking tire, so now I can't go to this concert. Now I can't do this vacation. You have to choose between what you want. You can't do all of that working a 9-to-5 job. There's no way. Unless you work a job where you literally have a degree and you work a high paying job. Otherwise, you can't do all of that. Working a 9-to-5. It's about knowing how much money to spend and taking cheap. If you know how to be savvy, then you could travel anywhere for cheap. No, you can't. Okay. So here's the thing, right? Maybe you can. So you take that trip, right? Let's say you go take that trip. Okay, so then your car breaks down. Let's say the next day your car breaks down and you just got back from the trip. What's going to happen? Now you're going to be wishing you never spent money on that trip. Now you're going to be wishing you would have saved money to fix your car. Again, you'll save money to go on a trip, and then you won't have no money for your car because you went on a trip. And then now you're regretting your decisions of buying items and taking trips because you don't have the money. Oh, I wish I would have never bought this, because if I had saved up, then I would have had the money to fix my car. Then you start judging yourself and you start treating yourself badly because now you don't have the money to fix your car. And then you start replaying in your head, why did I buy this stupid item? Now I can't afford to fix my car. Why did I take that stupid trip? I can't get my money back from that trip. It's too late. You don't get refunds for that. Then here you are contemplating, and why, you know, hello? You know what I mean? Have I ever had a car that's registered? I've had 2 cars. I don't know if they was registered. Well, I'm pretty sure they were because my brother drove them to work. One was a Buick. My brother gave me a Buick. It's on my page. I literally posted my car on my page. He gave it to a coworker who needed it to get to work. And I was like, okay, that's fine. If he needs it more than I do, because, he needed it more than me. So he gave it to a coworker that needed it for work. Then he got this small SUV. It was a small Ford SUV. He said, look, I'll get you another car since I'm giving him this one. I'm like, oh, it's okay. No rush, no worry. He gets a small Ford SUV. It had a nice radio in it. Man, I love that car. I went driving in both of them actually to learn to drive to get my license. So yeah, I've had 2 cars. They were registered. My brother drove them. Like, what was the point of your question? $140 does not allow me to have a roof over my head, and I could afford that stuff because I don't have to pay rent again. Why are you just pocket watching people? Isn't that weird? I'm not doing what you want me to do, so that makes you mad. And because I won't do what you want me to do, that makes you mad. You're just trying to, not a flex. Okay, well, I'm not trying to flex. People are asking questions and I'm answering. And then when I answer, all of a sudden it's flexing. But is it not flexing what people are doing in the comments saying, I have a house, I have a job, I make money, you don't, ha 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 ha. Isn't that not a flex? All of a sudden, I'm just politely answering comments and now I'm flexing. I'm not sitting here every day saying I had cars, I had this, I had that, I spent this, I spent that. That's flexing. I don't gotta flex. To be honest with you, being myself, I could sit pretty and not have to pay rent at all. Someone else will pay all my bills for me if I wanted to do that. Like, you really want to talk about flexing? Let's talk about flexing. You know? I don't go those routes. I want to make money, earn it by myself, and be able to say, hey, I got a house. I bought a house. I literally was live on another app. It was called Up Live. And this dude literally says, I'll pay all of your bills in exchange for photos. I don't exchange photos. They said all your bills could be paid. I've had offers of my bills being completely paid for. That's not just the first time. I don't do stuff like that. If I wanted to go that route, I could. Like, this is not flexing. I don't have to work hard for my money. Why do you expect me to have to go work hard for my money? Telling me that I need to go work hard. You go work hard. I don't want to work hard. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm done. I've been in survival mode for years. I'm done. I'm tired of struggling, of being homeless and trying to work so hard just to be homeless. I'm not going to go work a job and be tired. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. I cannot work a job. I'll be falling asleep at my job. I'm tired all of the time. My disabilities make me tired all the time. I'm not lazy if I get up and have to do things every single day. How am I lazy? I don't get to sleep all day. I don't even get to sleep all day. I gotta get up early and start my day, and my whole day, I'm doing something for the whole day until I get home at night, close to 10 o'clock, and then I'm able to go to sleep. And then I can't even go to sleep because I had to go live on TikTok to make the money for my bills. Like, I don't even get an ounce of sleep. And when I do get off to get some sleep, because I gotta be on for a couple of hours, then I get off and I'm able to go to bed. Otherwise, I have to do it all over again. My whole day is busy. I don't even get a chance to, and some days, if I'm up because I can't sleep, I'll be up till 1 o'clock, and then my whole day is ruined because I can't go to sleep, and now I gotta stay awake for the whole day and do it all over again with no pay, while having to talk about how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, that I don't feel good enough because I can't afford to live. These are the things that just really messes up my day, because people think that I have no value whatsoever, that I lack value because I don't have a job. God forbid I can't afford to live, then that means I'm not even a human being. I'm not even an adult. I'm just a stupid idiot that can't even work. These are the things that gets told in my brain, and it sets me back because it's just fuck. Look at all these people saying this shit, and I really frankly don't care. You got a job, you got a house, kudos to you. But can you honestly sit here and think for a second that you deserve any of that? When you talk down on people, do you think God, a lot of you guys literally talk about religion, right? Let's talk about God. Most of you guys are Christians and you're doing this stuff. Do you think God was walking around talking about how he had all of this stuff, how he was all rich and he had all this money? God never needed anything. God never needed or wanted anything. He was provided for. They fed 5,000 people off of one loaf of bread. How is that possible? How is it possible to feed all these people with a few fish? Make that make sense, right? Miracles happen, right? And we're sitting here having a discussion, fighting with people instead of the system, because someone did literally tell you all this. The system is fucked up. The system is built for people to not be able to provide a living wage, and you're arguing with me. This is what they want. They love seeing poor people fighting with each other like it's gladiator style, because they're laughing at that. This is what rich people get off on, is seeing poor people struggle. It's a game to them. It's like a poor person's game. Pooropoly. Someone should make a game like that. The rich just watching the poor and using them as a pawn. These things, you don't have enough money to survive right now if something was to happen. The 1% of rich people will survive before you. How are you gonna be able to survive anything like an apocalypse, whatever the case may be? You couldn't afford it. You know what was scary and sad to see is in California with this whole fire situation, right? That fire in California, Um, yeah, what happened there? Rich people was able to survive, and some people can't. And there was a lot of celebrities that did lose their houses that couldn't rebuild. But what about those that aren't rich and didn't have money to rebuild? But even though some of those rich people couldn't rebuild because they didn't have money like that, it's still crazy to think you can pass away in a fire because you couldn't afford to survive. It's all about money. It's not deflection. Deflection from what? You know, when I see people, especially kids, dying from cancer because they can't afford cancer treatments like chemo because they can't afford to live, I don't know what to tell you. Chemo treatments are $100,000. So, you know what is scary? If I have kids and my kid ends up with cancer, I can't afford that. So what am I going to do? I have to watch my kid die because my kid can't afford to survive? This is the shit that I talk about, because you guys love to talk about things that are not what's important. That's important. People are dying because they can't get medications that save their lives. My mom is struggling, right? She doesn't have to pay for her medications. Someone stole her medications. Those are medications she needs for her health problems. That's fucked up. And why did they steal her medications? Probably to get high off of it. Or probably because they couldn't afford the medications themselves, so they stole it. This is the America we live in. We're arresting people for stealing food, for stealing sandwiches because they're starving. Who said there's no such thing as choices? There is no such thing as choices. What concert did I attend? What concert did I attend? The Jonas Brothers concert? Okay, how long ago was the Jonas Brothers concert? Why are we still talking about a concert from a long time ago? What concert? I'm not going to any concert, so what are you talking about? You're saying I would rather be homeless for a concert. What concert? I didn't go to no concert. Are you talking about that Twista event? The event that I went to for Twista was free. That's a free event. That was a voting event. It was an event put on by the city of Albuquerque for free. And if you think I'm going to miss seeing Twista for free, you're stupid. Why would I miss a free event to see a celebrity that came to perform for free? Look it up. Look it up. The Twista event was free. I didn't pay for that. Let's not lie, because the two girls that took a picture with me will tell you it's free. The whole event was free. I even got free food from a food truck because they had vouchers for the food trucks. And you go up and they have a free side. Why are you telling me I'm lying? I didn't pay to go see Twista. It was free. Look up free Albuquerque event with Twista. You can Google it. It'll tell you it was free. What do you mean I'm lying? I didn't even have any money to spend. I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, whatever, Yeetus. You just want to argue with me at this point. The people that secretly filmed me that were there knows that event was free. Everything there was free because it's to get people to vote. Because it was an upcoming voting for something. I think it was governor or mayor or something like that. Upcoming votes. They had free zip lining. All the vendors weren't free to buy. People were selling homemade cookies. People were selling jewelry, tumblers, all kinds of stuff, right? But the whole event was free. To see Twista was free. They didn't even just have Twista. They had other performers performing for free. But this event was to get people to go vote. So yes, it was a free event. I saw Twista for free. I didn't have to pay. Whenever I go to these events, especially for the city of Albuquerque, if you don't know, there's a lot of free events in New Mexico. Every June through August, they have Summerfest. Summerfest is free, and a lot of older famous singers come to perform for free. I'll tell you, Morris Day and the Time, we were gonna go see him for free. He came for free. Morris Day and the Time is a group that was started by Prince, okay? I saw Sheila E. for free. I saw Taylor Dane for free. I could see celebrities for free if I want to, because I don't gotta pay for things. They have free events every Friday with music. They now have food truck parks, a lot of food truck parks in Albuquerque with DJs where you can just go sit. You don't have to buy food, and you could have enjoyment for free. When I go somewhere, I don't pay for anything because it's free. And if I do choose to go somewhere and pay for it, that is my business. I do a lot of things for free. You know why? Because you don't know how to live. Like, instead of sitting home being bored, then you sit home and be bored. Okay, I don't have to be bored with no money. I can go do things and enjoy life for the free, because you don't have to pay. These events, you walk in, it's free. Nobody's paying for me. And if I have to pay somewhere, then I'll pay it myself, unless if someone offers. What do you mean, well, homeless? I was not homeless. I was not homeless. What are you talking about? I was in a place. I only paid $40 for the ticket. If you're gonna complain about $40, then there's something wrong with you. It only costed me $40 because I went through TickPick. I didn't even pay any extra fees. I paid a flat $40 to go see the Jonas Brothers. And how long ago was that? And you're still bringing it up? The last concert I went to was free. So why are we still talking about paying? The Twista concert was free. Do you not get that through your head? I have to keep repeating it because you're slow. And you move slow and you don't hear what I'm saying. You're talking about $40. You're complaining about $40. That is not even of your concern. Mind you, when I went to go see the Jonas Brothers, my mom was with me. She didn't go to the concert, but she was there. We were together at one point. So what is your whole point? Like, I literally don't get it. I think she was there at that time. I don't know. No, probably not. I don't know. But it doesn't even matter. If you're complaining about $40, then you got issues, girl. Because why? Do you want $40? Just say you need $40 and then you wouldn't have to complain. I paid $80 for what? What did I pay $80 for? Now we're on this $80 bullshit. What did I pay $80 for? I never paid $80 for no concert. Are you stupid? Yes, I paid $200 to go see BTS, but I was living in an apartment. I had the apartment at the time I went to go see BTS. That's the most I've only paid for a concert, was $200 plus the other stuff. I paid a lot. I didn't pay a lot of money to go see BTS. $80 for what? I didn't pay $80 for a concert. I've never paid $80 for a concert. The Backstreet Boys concert was free. My brother paid for me and got me the Backstreet Boys t-shirt. I didn't pay for that. The only concert I've ever paid for was the Jonas Brothers. Oh, and Post Malone, but I had a place at that time when I went to go see Post Malone. And at that time, I don't even remember what I paid for Post Malone. Because, yeah. I don't use TikTok. Why are we literally pocket watching someone? Is that not weird? I haven't been to that much concerts because, yeah, I couldn't afford concerts. So my life growing up, the only concerts I went to were Summerfest, and those are free because you can go to concerts for free. BTS was when I had an apartment. So why are you saying I went to BTS? Yes, I went to BTS because I had an apartment and the rent was paid. What are we talking about? My rent was paid and I was able to go see BTS. Yeah, the BTS was like $200. But that's because I got my ticket from Twitter. And I actually got scammed. And then I was able to get a refund. And then I bought my ticket. Mind you, I was on a payment plan for my ticket. Luckily, because on like places where they sell tickets, they wouldn't have done a payment plan. I was able to do a payment plan. Because someone on Twitter was nice enough. I had found this person after I got scammed. So I did everything right to vet that the tickets were legitimate. Everything that I've learned from people being scammed, I used that knowledge when I tried to acquire BTS tickets. What happened was that even doing that, even getting all the information for the tickets, I still ended up getting scammed. I made sure I had them send me screenshots. I had them send me all kinds of stuff before I went into buying the tickets. And then, when everything seemed legitimate, I'm like, okay, this is legitimate. I went and I bought the tickets, and it turns out it was a scam. So then I had to contact PayPal to get my refund back. And then in the process, I was looking for tickets. This person, I explained to them I had just gotten scammed and that I don't have the money, but once I get the refund, I will pay them their ticket. I was on a payment plan. So they're like, okay, here's what you can do, because I had a certain type of money. I need, So I paid for half of the ticket. And then when I get to Vegas, they said, once you get to Vegas and you get up to Allegiant Stadium, what you're going to do is I'm going to give you the ticket, send it to you so you can get in. And I'm like, okay, cool. They sent it to me. I got in. I paid them off. So I paid off the ticket. The ticket's paid off. Yeah. I was on a payment plan because I got scammed. But thankfully enough, this person was nice enough to do that. Because some people don't. Because I could easily say like, hey, can I pay half now and pay half later after the concert? Because I could have went to the concert and not paid them off. I could have scammed them out of a ticket, but I didn't, because I'm not that type of person. I got scammed buying BTS tickets. And I've never had an unsuccessful ticket buy from Twitter, because I bought tickets before from Twitter. When I wanted to go see BTS in LA, PTD LA. When I was going, I bought tickets from Twitter, and my tickets were legitimate. I never had an issue. And then I ended up having to sell my ticket. And, I sold my tickets. Because I couldn't make it. Or no, I don't know if I sold it or what happened. I think I did. No, I wasn't 3 months behind when I went to see BTS, because I didn't even know I was 3 months behind at that point. I was 3 months behind when I went to Comic-Con, and I didn't even... Sorry, the 20% battery came up. I'll tell you what happened. So COVID hit. when COVID hit, you had to pay your rent online. They had an online payment for rent because we're under lockdown. So how are you going to pay your rent, right? So you have to take a money order and pay your rent. You had to pay rent with a money order. We would go get a money order for the apartments and pay the rent. So we started paying online. My dad said he had a bank paying the rent. I knew he didn't have a bank paying the rent. It was his mind telling him he had a bank paying the rent because he has mental illness, right? At that point, when he said he had a bank paying the rent, then what ended up happening was that we checked online and we told them, hey, like, it says we don't owe any rent. And we had a conversation with them like, how much do we owe, because it's showing 0. They said, well, ma'am, they told us, they said, well, you have to wait till it shows how much you owe. You can't pay until it tells you how much you owe. And we were like, okay. So we waited. Mind you, 3 months goes by. 3 months went by, and they didn't even, there was nothing that showed we owed rent. For 3 months, 0. Every single day we checked it, there was nothing there that said we owed rent. All of a sudden, they show up after I had mind you, I had prepaid. I prepaid for Comic-Con. I didn't know because it was last minute, mind you. No one, and here's the thing, people don't understand because their logic does not make sense, okay? You were sitting here telling me when it's mind you, it was like the weekend of or the next weekend. It is too soon for someone to pay the amount of money. I would have had to cut my losses on my Comic-Con tickets. The amount I paid for it, I would have had to sell them for a lot less because no one's going to buy Comic-Con tickets that close to Comic-Con. Especially the whole package. The whole VIP stuff, I would have had to lower my price because first of all, people plan for Comic-Con. They dress up. A lot of people dress up. Cosplay, all of that. They have to plan for their transportation. Buses weren't free at that time. I think you had, no, maybe they were free, I don't know. But to plan for transportation, to plan what you're going to do for Comic-Con, all of that takes way before Comic-Con. And you're sitting here expecting me to sell my tickets last minute, right? You wanted me to sell my tickets last minute. No one's going to buy my tickets last minute for Comic-Con. It's already too late. That's like trying to sell tickets the day of the concert. Maybe someone might buy tickets the day of the concert if you know how to sell, But nobody, you have to prepare. Yeah, if people are desperate and they're looking for concert tickets the day of, then maybe they might pay, but I'm not going to cut my losses. I was just like, hey, I'll just go because no one's going to buy those tickets, and I'm not going to struggle and have the hassle of trying to sell my tickets, and then nobody buys it, and then here I am, and my brother decided he's going to go to work and not take the day off because he's like, oh, you know what, I'll just go into work. And then I'm screwed. How am I going to get there? And then, how am I going to get there? Because then my brother just decided to go to work because he thinks I'm selling my tickets, and then what if I don't sell them? I just didn't want to go through all of that. Yes, thank you, Mom. Yes, I would have to sell at a loss, and no one's gonna buy tickets anyways because it's too close. Like Comic-Con was too close. Nobody's gonna buy tickets last minute unless they're really desperate, right? But then again, there's a lot of planning that goes into Comic-Con. It's not just going there. Like literally from the time that I know around the time that they drop who's going to be at Comic-Con, I'd look. Because then I plan what signatures I'm going to get, how much money I need to set aside, how much money I need to pull out. I am planning my whole thing. I don't cosplay, right? I don't go dress up and cosplay. I really have considered probably dressing up and cosplaying, but mine is budgeting. I budget for Comic-Con because I'm like, I'm not going to spend this much. This is how much I'm going to spend. I don't need to go over like, I don't need to spend this much amount of money. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Yeah, I would have loved to take pictures with all the people I got autographs from, because that's memories to me that I can post on my page. You know what I mean? Because I would have loved to take a picture with Edward James and have that memory of like, oh, look, we met Edward James. You know, like I have that memory, that photo of taking a picture with Mick Foley. I went on my brother's Facebook and he has the picture of him with Sergeant Slaughter. Mind you, that was a free photo. Because I had the VIP package. So it's one free photo, one free autograph. I used my free autograph to get Mick Foley's signature. I paid for the picture, which was not that much. But Sergeant Slaughter, my brother was like, ooh, he's like, he goes, since you're getting the free autograph, can I get the free photo? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I let him use the free photo, and he was so excited to meet Sergeant Slaughter. Man, that made his whole day. And he took a picture with him. You can see he was so excited, like, yeah. And, you know, I have those memories. Here's the thing that sucks, right? The last time we went to Comic-Con with him, you know, and I didn't go last year, which is okay, but for me it sucks because not having an ample amount of money to make memories sucks, because those are the things that I really enjoy. Is my mom being happy, you know, going to Comic-Con and meeting these people and talking to people. My mom had a whole conversation with the actress from Halloween Town, you know, the one that played her mother in Halloween Town. Like, we had a whole conversation, and she talked to my mom about hearing aids. It's things like that. Like, I talked to the Crypt Keeper. Like, I literally had a conversation with Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh. These are things that, you know, it makes me sad, because if I work a 9-to-5 job, I won't be able to afford that. Comic-Con would be too expensive. Like, the reason why I do what I do with my social media is to create memories for people and make life enjoyable for people. When I see my friends struggling, it sucks, because it's just like, I want them to be happy and we can take trips and, you know, just enjoy life and not have to struggle anymore. This stuff makes me sad, because yeah, you can create memories without having to pay for it. You could do all these free things, but it's just like, why? People miss most of their children's lives because they're working 8 hours a day, and then they gotta go to sleep and do it all over again. They cook, they clean, they don't even have time to spend time with their children sometimes, because then they gotta go to sleep and get up for work. They're missing most of their child's lives, struggling to work. Why should anyone have to go through that? These are the things that I think about. Yeah, well, I tried to work at 16. That didn't work. And working at 12, that's not okay, because that's actually against child labor laws. But I didn't know that Subway hires at 14. So I probably could have worked at Subway. But all I know is I tried to work at McDonald's, because my dad, he knew the manager and he was going to talk her into giving me a job. But they changed the labor laws. So you had to be 18 for them to hire you. They said they couldn't hire me because I wasn't 18. So then when I went, I went at 18. Or no, when I went at 16, they said, yeah, you have to wait 2 more years and then we'll hire you. And then that didn't work out. So, yeah, it was a lot. Because after that, I just went straight to college. I graduated high school at 18, went straight to college. Yeah. 12-hour shifts. Oh, that's crazy. I could not work a 12-hour shift. That's wasting most of my life at a job. I wouldn't even get to experience anything because I'll be at my job all the time. No, it's not. Look it up. Look up the child labor laws. When I was in school, which was 16, which was, because I graduated high school at 2012. 2012, 11, 10. So it would have been in 2010. Like, that was not a lie. My dad worked at that McDonald's. So he talked to the manager and he said, hey, he said, we went down there. We went to talk to her about me working a job. I wanted to be able to buy my own clothes. I couldn't afford. My parents would take me to Goodwill, which there's nothing wrong with going to Goodwill. I love going to thrift stores for clothes. My thing was my parents couldn't afford to buy clothes. So if my clothes had holes in them, like little holes, or if my clothes, I had to wear it like that. Like shoes, I had to make my shoes last. I wanted to be able to have a cell phone, pay a phone bill, buy my own things while in high school. But what happened was that she said she couldn't hire me because I was not 18. She said, you come back in 2 more years and we'll hire you. Got him. My nose is itchy, sorry. Well, I gotta charge my phone and I gotta get up early, so have a good day or night where you guys are. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I need to go get some sleep. Look at these stickers. They're like nail stickers that you put on your nail. And they're like butterfly designs. I'm a stupid old bitch. Like, okay. You got me. Anyways, have a good day or night. Well, you guys are. We'll see you guys later. Telling me to unalive myself is crazy. They're not ugly. I like them. I mean, I wouldn't wear these because they're not practical. Like, they're coming off. Like, it comes off easily. But, I mean, it's pretty on there. Well, if you're talking to my mom, then I gotta block you. Because telling my mom to kill herself, that's fucked up. I ain't gonna let you talk to my mom like that. You better watch what you say about my mom. Telling my mom to kill herself, your mom should have killed herself. If that's the case. Don't say that because you don't want me to get rude. I'm trying not to be rude. But seriously, having you as a daughter, she should have killed herself. You see how that works? Don't do that because you're going to make me mad. And I'm trying not to say things that are rude. So let's not. Yes. Anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. And don't say whoa, because they told my mom to kill herself. So if they want people to be nice to them, then they shouldn't say stuff like that. They ain't gonna talk to my mom like that. Anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. I'm gonna get up early. But yeah, bye guys. Good night. See you later.